Hello, my friends. It's Coach B and all of his friends on a Saturday. Mind blowing, brand new Super Improver display. Dawn, how important in your life is Super Improver? Go, girl.
Thank you, Coach. It's right up there with my kids, my family, my job. Yeah,
All
right
right.
up there.
Just a little bit below salvation, but it's way up there. Very good. Kyla, you've been around the block a number of times, and sometimes you've gone around the block, Kyla, without Super Improver. How's it changed your block trips?
Thank you, Coach. Listen, the blocks without Super Improver, I was pulling my hair out. I was frustrated. Now I have Super Improver. I just throw out those stars and I am in teacher heaven.
All right. Wendy, I called on you earlier. I could tell that you and I are kindred spirits that have never met. Wendy, unmute and talk about the misery of using treasure chest. Go, girl, unmute.
Treasure chest is absolutely the worst. It does not work. They get their meaningless toy and go right back to where they were.
Oh, we've got two Wendy's and both of them agree. 10-finger woo. Woo. All right, here we go, my friends. I'm going to attempt a brand new kind of display. Give me thumbs up if you like this groovy new display with me on the camera and Super Improver. Right now, Nancy is putting in the link, the new Super Improver slides, and I've got to confess something. Artificial intelligence art is the way to fly. This was not simple to do. It takes a lot of doctoring, but it produces results that we've never been able to duplicate before. Here's slide number 2. And first of all, Melissa Ortuno is on screen. Melissa Ortuno has done so much work, she qualifies as co-stinking author. Melissa, 10-finger woo to you. I made the stuff. She went through all of the grunt work of putting it online, again, for your favorite price, 100% off. All right, here we go. Slide number 2 shows you all of the new cartoonified graphics. And what we love about this is, with these new graphics, it gives us a chance to build in academic and social emotional activities all through the year. Dawn, you kind of like academic and social emotional activities. Talk about it, girl.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, both of those are really important in classrooms. We need to do things obviously academically, but also need to tie in that social emotional component as well.
That's right. Now, Lakidra, you have learned Super Improver, probably from Facebook, probably from the book. Talk to people, Lakidra, about how simple it is once you do all the cutting and pasting it is to use Super Improver in class. Go, Lakidra.
Hi, thank you, Coach. So I'm at an event right now, but yes, I've used Super Improver often and
School supplies, so that was
gotcha.
okay.
Hang on one second. Sorry, I'm at an event, guys. It is very simple to use Super Improver. Once you do all of the cutting and pasting, all you have to do is look for improvements in those kids and you'll see them, even if they're little. Those micro improvements count too.
Very good, 10-finger woo. All right, so what I did was I included a beginner version of Super Improver. This is in the book. You're going to make a display, which I'll show you, that has every kid's name with 0 points, and they are on white cards because they start at turtle. Include your name. Give me 2 thumbs up. You need to improve as well. Also include what you're looking for improvement on. I want you to follow directions quickly, but also, plus, I'll reward you for anything else you do. When I see improvement, here's the magic, my friend. You've got to get the dice. When I see improvement, you get a Super Improver point, and I roll the dice. If 1, 2, or 3 comes up, You already get a point. You get another point to give away to an improving teammate. This is a slight but important change. Everybody huddle up. Listen, we used to say it was optional to give away the bonus point. Kindness is no longer optional, Annie Blake. You win, you get a dice roll, you give it to an improving teammate. Annie, you're almost a regular. Talk about the importance of the moment when a kid stops thinking about themselves and thinks about giving to an improving teammate. Talk about that briefly, girl.
Teacher heaven, right? Because kindness, we want to spread it everywhere. So they get to give that bonus star away. Whew, teacher heaven.
Very good. 10-finger woo. All right, let's keep going. So this is the simple guide. It's on Whole Brain Teaching. It's in the book. This shows that Tuan has a blue card because Penguin is blue. So just looking at the color codes, you can see where everybody is, and every card has the number of points in order to level up. Next big point, listen to me, hands and eyes. Keep everyone within 3 levels of each other. No one is way ahead and no one is way behind. How do you do that? If you got a kid who's at the bottom, little teeny improvements like looking in the right direction can give them a super improver star. So churn the standings. Those who are last shall be first. You may have heard that. All right. Here are all the points possible. 240 points. Now, another big point, hands and eyes. If you've already got your display up, don't cry. Use your display and then put on Super Improver Gold Turtle as a digital display. You can double the number of points. What's better than a carnival where there's tons of things to win? Nancy explained how you could use Super Improver Gold after Super Improver to have more points to give away, for Pete's sakes.
Well, thank you, Coach. Yes, no crying in the back, because there's another way you can add in the new graphics by making them digital. Now you've got double powers going on, and the engagement and the fun go up.
Very, very good. Okay, now, here are some sample displays. There's lots more online. Nancy put in Facebook Super Improver so that people can see the sample displays. And this is one of my favorites. Put some lights around your Super Improver and turn on the stinking lights when the game is on. We're either playing Super Improver or we're practicing. And when we're playing, the lights go on. Kyla, do you like the lights around the display? I'm sure you do. It's a rhetorical question. Go ahead.
I think that display is absolutely beautiful, and the lights just make it more exciting.
Now listen, everybody, I gotta be honest. You know, whenever someone says, I gotta be honest, be suspicious. Why wouldn't you be honest? So I gotta be honest. I'm seeing literally hundreds of people on Teachers Pay Teachers make Super Improver displays. Some of them are moral skunks. They're charging for stuff we've given away free. But this is what makes me cuckoo. They're making Super Improver displays that are unbelievably cheesy, that they put together in an hour with snapshots of not very good images from the internet. There's even people who are putting up locks, and we want to cover up the lock, and the locks are crummy locks. The locks could be drawn by a talented 4th grader. Look here. There's a lock, Dawn. That's going to look good. And Dawn, I know you find this incredible, but looking good is important to kids. That's why they say about a video game, oh, the graphics are so good. Graphics is what it's all about. Dawn, explain how you regret all the days you put up cheesy 5th grade style locks and how you can't wait for this one and are desperately hoping for 4 different locks on the next slide. Come on, Dawn.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, so maybe some of us have some locks already, but these new ones are really going to engage our students and make them feel like they're in a living video game.
Dawn, stay there. Dawn, listen to me, girl. This is new this morning. Why don't you use different color locks for different value things? So you use this lock here for, let's say, rule 1 and 3, this lock for the diamond rule and rule 4. This lock it's important. It's rule 2. That's an important one. But the ornate gold one, rule 5. Dawn, talk about using locks on levels, and the locks themselves are levels. Woo-hoo!
Oh, Coach, so we can use these different locks and make them almost leveled themselves. So saving that really special ornate one for our most important rule, rule number 5.
We have our dear friend, Andre. Andre, you have vast experience with helping lower elementary kids. And how are they responding to Super Improver in general, dear brother?
Thank you, Coach. I don't know a kid from elementary on up that doesn't respond positively to Super Improvers. It really is gold.
Well, in Louisiana, that's the case, but you may have had some immigrants from California. Okay, so we breed a little tougher breed of kids out here, but yes, it works. Now, Andre, I know this is going to be thrilling to you. Here we go. My friends, we've got all these games, and we recommend everybody start with starries. It's in the book. You see improvement, you put up a star. There's some variations. It's a nice, fast way to start. And then we go to Super Improver. But let's tie them together, Patricia Steele. Patricia's tie them together. This is what the opening day classroom looks like. And you put starries as the bottom unlocked level to show that it's all about Super Improver climbing up to Alpha Hawk. Patricia Steele, explain how beautiful it now is that we're not playing 15 games. We're just playing one game called Alpha Hawk. Go, Patricia.
Thank you, Coach. We're just playing one game called Alpha Hawk. Start with starries, go on up to Super Improver. Yes.
Here's the starries card. And notice, Patricia, it's got a big 100 there to let you know you have to get 100 starries. Here we go. Here's Turtle, Emo the Turtle. Number of stars, 5. And your kids may recognize these little friends, Ninja Turtles. We help others because, play kinder because, and all of this is editable. The background isn't, but you can even take this guy, all editable, move it around, change this. I'll talk about these little speech bubbles in a second. Let's go on to, here we are at Penguin. Now notice Penguin has a blue border. You didn't notice it, but Turtle has a white border. Penguin has a blue border, and what are we doing with all of the speech bubbles all the way through? Everybody huddle up. We're doing one thing. You can do more, but we're doing one thing. Everything is about using the word because. Central to critical thinking at every grade level. And we start with simple becauses, blank because blank on the lower levels, blank because blank and blank on the middle levels, and blank because blank, blank, and blank on the highest levels. That is building a complex topic sentence around one word. You can change it if you wish. Nancy, explain how relieved you are that instead of trying to hit 50 different moles in whole brain teaching, we're just trying to hit the because mole in whack-a-mole. Go, Nance.
Well, thank you, Coach. So yes, big relief for everyone starting up at the beginning of the year. Start simplistic. Go for a one blank sentence where they fill in with that because reason. Then you go to the because blank and blank reasons. And then finally that complex sentence, we've got because blank, soup, and blank. Now we're talking.
If this is too much to wrap your head around, before you post it, take off all the speech bubbles if you want, or leave them on and change them. And you use the speech bubbles however you wish. Stop the train and say, all right, turn to your neighbor and fill in, we love each other because, and how many different blanks can you fill in? So there's Penguin. Here is our friend Ruru, be nicer because. I didn't even make a speech bubble for that cool looking ostrich. Didn't make a speech bubble for that kangaroo. You can add them. But what is this? Kyla, pay attention. Let your cat go. Kyla, listen to me. A treasure chest and super improver? Kind choices open me. Kyla, could I make a suggestion here about the treasure chest? Unmute so I can make a suggestion.
Thank you, Coach.
Kyla, when you see a bunch of kind choices, like the treasure chest says, you get to open it. Kyla, aren't you dying? Be honest for once. Aren't you dying to know what happens if you open the treasure chest?
I cannot wait until we can open the treasure chest.
Check it out. Open it by moving it. A lucky number 3. That means you give everybody a super improver star, you roll the dice, and if a 3 comes up, you get another roll. Kids love the rolls. It's just the rolls. Now, Kyla, listen to me. This is the digital version. For you to make the paper version, you've got to make a little paper sticker that you put on there, and a paper sticker that is the dice. And because I know that you're such a busy person with your cat, I put other kind of dice here in the margin. So Kyla, I know that you have been one of the ones who've been demanding whole brain teaching police because you like an orderly world. We don't have police yet. So I'm telling you, Kyla, before the police come down, you could put a treasure chest on every single stinking level. And because they're paper, you could change what was under it. And you could even change what they're supposed to do. I would like to say, if I see lots of people raising their hand for permission to speak, that is worthy of a treasure chest. Kyla, talk about the ways you can just use a treasure chest on Super Improver Gold, for Pete's sakes.
Thank you, Coach. So those treasure chests have endless opportunities. You can put them on any level. You can put anything underneath them, and you can look for anything you want improvements on to unlock those treasure chests. It's infinite.
Super great. Okay. I don't like to stop for questions because I'm on a roll, but hey, I will stop for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand or put it in the message box. Any questions thus far? I'll even go to my other screen. Any questions? All right, I think we're rolling. Back to this great display. Next up, after kangaroo, there's panda. And notice the borders are color-coded. If you don't like purple here, you can go in and change the color. I will change it to red. You just are going to have to use that color all the way through for your panda cards. I'm changing it back to purple. So Zazu is the first one who does double becauses, smile more because blank and blank. We have these marvelous Disney-inspired butterflies that you could use. I'm telling you, you could use these on any slide It's there. I like flying because I like you because blank blank, and I like pandas because whatever you want. Here is the wolf. You gotta, and my daughter said a magic word to me, as I said last week. She said the word, in The Graduate, the magic word is plastics. For my daughter, the magic word is pastel. So I got AI to make some pastel wools. We're good friends because I help others because I'm a good leader because, which is one of the virtues. Here we are with tiger, grit. So you can dial in the speech bubbles to virtues, to rules. Here we are with cheetah. Oh my goodness. College professor here. What's the big thing we want them to do in college? We don't want them to do anything except two things. Compare and contrast. That's what college is all about. Compare and contrast. So let's do some comparing and contrasting right here at the cheetah level. We are alike because, see, they're alike. We're different because compare and contrast. Raise your hand if you like kids to be able to do compare and contrast, for Pete's sakes. Everybody. Now we know how. Here is black marlin. Three wonderful, I think these are kind of inspired. Black marlin, I help others because he's the first triple whammy. Now, major controversy, my friends, and I got to be transparent about the controversy. Melissa, explain how delighted you are that your coach, for a change, is going to be transparent about the major raging controversy. Just give me a little praise here, Melissa, because I don't like to be transparent. I like to be opaque. Go, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. I'm so excited that you're going to be transparent about the deep conversation we had out in our book study about these two choices. We can't decide. There's controversy over which one is better.
All right. Here is Red Hawk cartoony, and here is Red Hawk dramatic. Now, I didn't go with Red Hawk dramatic because it's a little better picture, but I'm not sure it's right for early elementary. So here we go. Red Hawk cartoony, and you can put Red Hawk dramatic. If you vote for Red Hawk cartoony, it's a 1. If you vote for Red Hawk dramatic, it's a 2. Vote now, go ahead. Which would you use? Wendy and Kinder, both Wendy's are like the cartoony. Sherry likes cartoony, but Jackie grade 3, you know grade 3, Jackie, they don't want cartoony. They want something a little bit edgy. Yes, Robin, they want a little edgy. Judy, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to vote. Oh, okay. You must be an upper elementary teacher. Thumbs up for upper elementary, right, Judy? Yes, all right. So now you have, we could have had different versions of all of these, but have some mercy on me and my family, okay? We gave you double versions of Red Hawk. Here we go. Let's continue to climb the ladder. Here's Bronze Hawk, triple whammy with some little alien spacecraft. Here is Silver Hawk, triple whammy on Rule 5 with 2 little cartoony birds that you can use any place. Here is Golden Hawk, Titania. I help others because I love blank because blank, blank, and blank. And then we got to have something special for Peregrine Falcon. We got to have a special design. So here's the special design with a cool frame with some lilies involved there. And in honor of Melissa Artuno, we had another name for Peregrine Falcon, but Perry is the best name. And at the top, I live for others because blank, blank, and blank. At the very tippy top, put in Alpha Hawk Living Legend. Dawn, you've had some living legends in your time. What's a living legend?
Thank you, Coach. Our living legends are our students that make it all the way through all of those levels. They get displayed in your classroom, and if the year isn't done yet, any stars that they win, they gift to others to try to get them to become living legends as well.
That's the beauty, my friends. Look at me, make my gestures. This is a game that lasts all year. Because once they get to the top 240 improvements, sisters, once they get to the top, then any points they earn, they give to their wing mates. So it lasts all year. There's no treasure chest. It turns your class into a living video game that has social, emotional, and academic speech bubbles all through that you can edit as you wish. Annie, this may be the first time you've seen this. Talk about it, Annie, I'll tell you what, Annie, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna be a regular. How do you like that right here? Annie, what are you liking the most about this new Super Improver Gold? The 45 things you like the most.
Thank you, Coach. I love the graphics and the colors of it. I have been waiting to put my Super Improver wall up until you released the new cards.
Andre, I know there's going to be a lot of tears in Louisiana. Some teachers are going to think, don't tell me I have to redo this. Andre, do you think you've got some, because everybody's using it, are these good enough to replace the old stuff? The old stuff might be getting a little tattered and torn. What do you say, brother?
Thank you, Coach. For a while now, you've been talking about this idea of bicameral games, where you're infusing the academics and the social emotional components together. And that's what Super Improvers Gold is doing so very well. It's bringing those two worlds together into our classrooms. So yes, I think it's going to take off.
All right, glad to hear it. Now let's keep going. Now I'm going to make an important point. You know, whenever someone says that, you think, well, what is everything else you've been talking about? Here's the deal. You have to have the border of the level match the border of the card so that you can easily see. And so I went through, and now this has a white border, but this is light blue, like the penguin card. Change it if you want. Here's kind of royal blue, purplish. And so these are the student cards. You put up the display, you put up the student cards. Everybody starts with a turtle card. When they get 5 stars, which you mark off on here, you give them this, they take it home, and as Andre says so brilliantly, it will make grandma proud. Patricia, how do kids feel when they win a level to take home?
It's amazing. Thank you, Coach. It is amazing. It's just such a celebration. It's fantastic. And you have done an excellent job. It's amazing.
So all the color codes are changeable. If you get to a slide and you can't really change it how you want to, go up to arrange. Now this is fine. All of these are editable. And if they're not, just make another one. There's Silver Hawk, and there's kind of a goldish for Gold Hawk, and then black, because black is cool, for the Peregrine Falcon. And then at the very top, a kid becomes an Alpha Hawk. You give him something so gloriously special. Print the dang thing in color. Give it to him to take home. And put up his portrait. Nancy, what are 3 things that everybody should know about the basics of Super Improver? Where have been people going wrong or having a hard time understanding? What are the basics?
Well, thank you, Coach. Well, I know there's always a variety of questions that come up based on the populations that you have, but the general rules do not change. And that is, we're always rewarding for improvement, not ability. And so for some of your children, that means recognizing a micro improvement so that you get everyone involved. And the next thing that people say is, what about the child that's just perfect? Well, no one is perfect, and that's why your card is up there too. So all your students need to understand, no matter how old we get, we can all improve. So that's, to me, one other point I'll make, depending on what is required at your school, if you are not allowed to display student names to anyone coming in, we recommend using a student number. So if that's an alternative that you're going to have to use, don't not use it because of the name showing. Add a number. The students will know, but your visitors won't.
Wendy LePage, my dear rookie, unmute Wendy LePage, listen to your coach. Wendy, here's the toughest thing. Wendy girl, you're going to have to change your goggles. In the past, you've been looking for the good kids, the smart kids, the gifted kids, and they're the ones who get all the praise. That doesn't work because the smart, good, and gifted kids get all the praise. And everybody else knows they're never going to get there. And they may learn that. They used to learn it in Wendy LePage's old kindergarten classroom, and it sets them up for life.
Yep.
I mean, think about that. They learn that they're in a race in school they can't win because they're rewarded for ability. So Wendy, take off those old crummy goggles. Wendy, put on new goggles where you're rewarding for improvement. Your special ed kids will in fact improve faster than your gifted kids. So if you're rewarding for improvement, everyone can win. Let's call that America. Wendy, just talk about the two sets of goggles. Everybody has to take off the old goggles, put on the new ones. Come on, girl.
Thank you, Coach. Yes, I'm going to have to take off my old goggles that just rewarding for abilities and all of that, and put on my new goggles where I'm only looking for improvements, even if it's the smallest improvement.
Yes. You know, Wendy, I know you've done this. Don't say you don't, okay? But I know in the past you've held up a coloring sheet and you said, look at Marie's coloring. Look how good her coloring is. Wendy, I had a kindergarten teacher like you. And I looked at my coloring and I thought, there's no way I'm going to ever color as good as Maria. And it cramped me. Look, these are the permanent position of my hands. For 75 years, it cramped me because I wasn't as good as Maria. What you should have done was hold up Jack's coloring on day 1 and Jack's coloring on day 5 and say, look at the incredible improvement. Jack, you win a Super Improver star and a dice roll. You become a star gifter. Wendy, explain how important before and after examples are, because that's how the brain grows, for Pete's sakes. Talk about it, girl.
Thank you, Coach. Yes, if you get Jack's paper from day 1 and his paper from day 5 and talk about how much he's improved, that's going to help him so much more than just telling Marie that her paper was good the first time.
Yes. 10-finger woo for Wendy, the rookie, LePage. Woo. All right, now listen to me. One last point. You've got some good kids who are way up here, as Nancy said, and we worry about them. As if we got to worry about the kids who are uber talented. Come on, people, but let's worry about all the kids. Well, you have sentence frames all through here. We like blank because blank. That can be improved and improved and improved. All the sentence frames. You've got rule 1. Well, Marie's following directions pretty quickly, but Marie, you're kindergarten. I want to see you follow directions quick as a 3rd grader. Well, we're doing some writing, and Harry, your writing is nice and neat. But Harry, here's 5th grade printing. Come on, dude. Move it up. All right, my friends, I'm so thrilled, so joyful that Super Improver Gold now exists, that we can really use what is really the most powerful game in whole brain teaching. And we'll see you down the road every Saturday, a free Zoom.